Hi, my name is Rose Tasnadi. I live in the Bronx, city of New York. I'm with St. Dominic's foster home for foster kids. I'm a grandmother and also the foster mother for two beautiful children, which I love very much, and I worry about them a lot. My daughter, unfortunately, is she's a sick woman who also indulged herself in drugs and alcohol. And she has another daughter, an oldest daughter, her first child, that she had lost completely to the father already, like 5 years ago, because of abusing her also. Now here we have these two little small children that unfortunately, and I feel very bad because it was my own child who was doing it to them. She was abusing her own children, beating them, punishing them, doing corporal punishment to the little girl, not so much to the little boy as much as to Sarah. If my granddaughter didn't do what she wanted her to do, as far as she didn't let her go to school, that's number one. My granddaughter was out from school 59 days for the whole year, because she had black and blues, and whenever she beat on her, she didn't want her to go to school because she didn't want nobody to see those black and blues. And the reason she did it is either because she didn't do the bottle right for Jake, she didn't change Jake the right way, or she didn't clean the house the right way, and it just was a lot of things, a lot of horrible things, which I had no choice in the matter. I had to turn one to the police department. The police, when they came to my house, saw my grandchildren, how they look. They're the ones who got in touch with ACS, reported the whole mess, and told me, would you mind if your grandchildren? No, I wouldn't mind at all if they stay here with me. You have a lovely home. I know you can take care of them. After all, you're the grandmother. They saw my granddaughter's face and her body, just her arms alone, how they were bruised. That instant, they called ACS on my daughter. When I told them the story, how she tried to commit suicide in front of her two little children, they said and because she was knocking at my door the next day after we had sent her to the hospital to get stitches and everything, she demanded her children, give me my effing kids, and all this and that. Then a wonderful lady from ACS, her name was Miss Abraham. She was the first investigator that came to me, who introduced me to, and then she gave the case to St. Dominic's. At first, we had a lady named Miss Deloach who was in charge of the case. Everything was going nice. The children were going to visit, but Sarah, because she's the one who was being abused by the mother most, and her and Sarah just don't click. My daughter and Sarah, she cannot forget, she can't get over the things the things that my daughter unfortunately had done to this little girl. And then the caseworker was changed to Miss Sandra James. Miss Sandra James, sometimes the way she talks to me, she holds me responsible for I have nothing to do with it. The only thing I have to do, like I told her, I love my child. I don't want nothing to go wrong, not even with my child. And I don't want her to hurt my little grandchildren. And I told her one time, I came to you people for help, to help me and my grandchildren and my daughter at the same time. Of course my daughter's going to say a lot of crazy things. She's a sick woman. Right now too, my daughter takes Vicodins for pains in her leg, and she takes medication for her nerves. This is a woman that they returned a 5-year-old child to, who's very active, God bless him. Half the time he's not going to school, plus he has asthma. Just yesterday she called me telling me that he's having an asthma attack. I told her right away, take him to the hospital. You think she did it? No. She just preferred to give him a treatment. And I told her, you can't get, and then she says to me, that's why she called me, can I give him another treatment back to back because he's still wheezing? I told her, no, that's out of the question. You have to take him to the hospital. I don't know what she did. But before they even returned the child to her, Jake had visits, overnight visits. And she banged his head into the wall. When one time that he was there with her, Miss James changed everything around. I didn't know what happened, but I heard it when she was on the witness stand in court. Miss James, Sandra James, told the judge that it was my grandson, my other grandson, that banged Jake's head into the bed. This was not true. Jake wasn't even home with us. Jake was taken out of school with my daughter, picked him up from school, did not return him until Sunday, 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which time the child right away stated to me that he has a horrible headache. But before all this, and then Miss James changed it around, that it wasn't my daughter who banged his head into the wall. It was my other grandson banged his head into the bed. This is not true. And every time I called Miss James and I told her what the child had said, or that neighbors of mine, people that know my daughter and myself and know her husband, they saw them together, or they saw them here and there, Miss Sandra James would call my daughter, tell her whatever I just finished telling her on the phone. She wouldn't even investigate it. Call my daughter, tell her all about it. Of course, my daughter would call me, curse me out, call me all sorts of effing names, this and that. Then I called Miss James and I told her, and I will never forget it, because the way what the lady said to me was really unprofessional. It was really not called from her. She told me, I said to her, Miss James, I just spoke to your client, and your client just cursed me out, called me effing names. Serves you right. Who told you to question her son? Stop questioning her son. I said, but Miss James, I told you, I did not question him. He's a 5-year-old child. He blurted out because his father told him that he was going to kill him. Of course, the child is scared. He's going to tell me. That's number one. Number two, when we were in court and ACS was called in because Jake told the therapist that his mother banged his head into the wall. Miss James turned around and told my daughter that it was me who called the ACS on her. I didn't call ACS on her, not the first time, not the second time, not the third time. And when Sarah spoke to the nurse and told the nurse about her father touching her, again, Miss James claimed that I'm the one who called ACS. It wasn't me, it was the nurse at St. Dominic's. And the reason I know that Miss James is claiming it's me, because when my daughter was on the witness stand in court, you can check out every word, because that I'm saying is true, because in court they type everything down. Sarah's lawyer asked my daughter, I'm sorry, how do you know who called ACS, miss? And she said, my mother called ACS on me. The lawyer says, how do you know that? Miss James told me so. And the lawyer said, yeah, how could Miss James tell you that when there's letters? And it's right here. It states the names of the people that called ACS on you. Miss James cannot tell. No. Miss James told me that it was my mother who called ACS. I never did.
So why did you come to FPA-Foundation today?
Because, first of all, I am tired of being treated like a rag by Miss James, someone who's trying to destroy her own family. The only thing I'm trying to do here is keep my family together. Of course, my daughter wants to say all bad things, and she's going, Miss James is going along with it, when she should know better as a caseworker that that's not so. And she knows that my daughter's sick very well. As a caseworker, she should know. If that was me, if I want my children back, I would make up a whole bunch of stories too. Hey, human beings, we're all human beings, and yeah, I would too. But the real thing here is, Why would you want to take your own children from your mother's house and give them to strangers? I don't understand this. And I spoke to Miss James so many times. At one point when we came out of court, and when I heard this, I just stood there. My daughter sitting there, didn't say nothing. She goes, well, next time, instead of calling people, just keep it among your family, keep it among yourselves. This is what Miss James said. I just walked away. I want to respect the lady. I always have, and I always will. I don't want to say nothing nasty to her, because that's not going to help things anyway. And what's that going to cause me? Nothing. And I'm not like that. But this lady is trying to make me out to be something I'm not. She's going along with the stories that my daughter is handing her. I can understand my daughter telling stories, but I can't understand Miss James, because she's supposed to be a clerical, a worker. She's just, and the way it seems, and like she says, oh, I don't get involved with family. You don't get involved with family. Why you? I'm trying to tell you to investigate something about my daughter. You go and you call and you tell her, but you don't get involved with family? How is that? On Christmas Day, my daughter came to the house. Now, it was wonderful in the beginning. She offered to make pancakes. I went to make beds. My other daughter, who I live with, she was there with the kids, continuing to enjoy the toys and everything with the children. My daughter goes to the kitchen and she says to her daughter, could you please come and help me in the kitchen with the pancakes? My granddaughter goes out there to help her with the pancakes. All of a sudden, my younger daughter comes to me, Ma, come. You need it in the kitchen. You hear the rumpus? I said, yeah, what's